It's time for another episode of GHP. If you haven't heard the podcast before, thanks for joining us, and here's how it works. First, we cover Humans Are Cool, which is where we count down our top 3 picks of good news or interesting facts about specific people or our species as a whole. Then, we join the Learning Bunch to run an experiment about human nature in a way that the kids at home can participate. Welcome to Gabe's Humanizing podcast. Welcome back, everyone. What do you say we get started with Humans Are Cool? Let's count down our top 3 picks this week, starting with number 3. Question for you. Did you know that children's music can be used as a medical aid? Well, Stephen Moylan, a nurse at Royal Melbourne Hospital, all the way down under in Australia, found a way. His patient, Sarah Kelly, is a 22-year-old with Down syndrome who was staying in the hospital after catching COVID-19. Sarah's condition was making it hard for her to follow the doctor's orders to wear her breathing tubes. Until Stephen found out that Sarah is a big fan of the children's music group, The Wiggles. He reached out to The Wiggles and asked them if they could send a special message and performance to encourage Sarah to follow doctor's orders. They responded, and within days, Sarah was listening to their message about the importance of wearing her breathing tubes. Well, kids, we are happy to say that she's now on her way to recovery. And the number 1 pick this week goes to a group of 12 visually impaired teens from the Foundation for Blind Children, also known as the FBC. This amazing group spent 9 days hiking the Grand Canyon and going down the Colorado River's dangerous rapids. They traveled a total of 137 miles. Ethan Roberts was one of the members in this group. At the start of their trip, Ethan had a guide who he held on to and listened to for safety and balance. But by the end of the trip, Ethan was able to hike the canyon all on his own. He used his hands and feet to guide himself. With this incredible display of bravery, he really showed what's possible. When you put your mind to something, there's so much you can accomplish. This gives me an idea. Marie, are you there?
Am I ever not?
Good point. So here's the question.
Hey, I'm here too.
Freddy, you're early, dear.
Oh, well, since I'm here, I mean...
No. Out, now.
But I want to know the question for the week.
You'll find out along with everyone else. Now, move along.
Okay. But I'm a sad banana about this.
Sorry about that, James. Continue.
Yes, I was just telling you, where was I? Oh yeah, I was just telling you the question I have for you to investigate with the Learning Bunch this week.
Well, let's hear it.
How do our human senses help us learn about our surroundings?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. We'll check back with you at the end. Welcome, Learning Bunch. Hey.
Oh, come on. I was only a few seconds early.
Nevertheless, Freddy, it's important for you all to think about your questions together, as a group.
Oh, got it.
Now then, I believe we have a special guest on the line, filling in for Johnny this week.
That's right.
Would you mind introducing your guest to the bunch?
Righto.
Righto. You've been hanging out with Johnny, haven't you?
That's right. Anyway, everyone, I'd like you to meet Clarissa Darling.
Hey. Welcome to the group, Clarissa. Hello, everyone. Thank you. We're excited to have you. I'm Marie Bumbershoot. I'm Kelly. Great to meet you. Likewise, dear. I assume Freddy already told you how this all works? Yes, he did. Excellent. Well, I believe you've joined us on an especially interesting week. Is everyone ready for the question? Yeah.
I've been trying to find out what it is since the beginning.
Here it is. How do our human senses help us learn about our surroundings?
All right.
Ooh. So now we choose what to do for an experiment to get an answer for the question, right? Right. And I believe you have an experiment in mind already? Sure do. Well, the floor is yours, dear. First off, let's assign each of us to be a human sense. There are at least 21 senses, and possibly all the way up to 53, but we'll work with what we have here. So, Freddy,
Yo,
you'll be smell.
just call me Smelly Freddy. Wait, actually, don't do that.
Kelly, you'll be touch. Okay. Marie, you'll be taste. Got it. And I'll be hearing. And the kids at home, you're going to be our special guessers. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Learning bunch, each of you should have received a few pictures. Each picture shows an object. One picture at a time. We'll take turns giving hints about what the object is using our assigned sense. Kids, your job is to guess what object we're describing. That's perfect! You really do have an oddly thorough understanding of how this works. This is your first time, isn't it? Of course. Everyone have their first picture ready?
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Okay. We'll start with an easier one so we can get a sense of how this goes. See what I did there? Sense of how this goes.
Yes, very good.
All right. Freddy, start us off.
This object smells worse when it's wet.
Okay, Kelly? This object feels really soft. This object is not one you want to taste. Okay, so taste isn't going to be much help here, kids. Ready for your last clue? This object sounds like it's saying, "Ruh, ruh." Any guesses? That's right, it's a dog.
Okay, this is fun. Object number 2, let's go. This object smells like baked dinner.
This object feels hot and doughy. This object is unique, and it's one of the best tastes in the world. And this object can sound like it's sizzling. Any guesses, kids? Wait, I'll give one more. This object can feel like melted cheese. Okay, kids, what is it? That's right, it's pizza. Okay, smell of Freddy.
Hey.
Go ahead and start the last one.
Alright, last one. Here we go. This object is supposed to smell like nothing.
Ooh, smell is out on this one. Interesting. This object feels silky, and it's hard to hold onto. This object doesn't have much taste, but you should definitely taste it every day. This object can sound like a gentle flow or a loud gushing. This one is harder. We don't really have a taste or smell to help with this one. But any guesses, children? It's water.
Oh, it's water.
You didn't know? Don't you have the picture in front of you?
Actually, I just lost that one and I was just winging it. Guess I got lucky.
Anyway, kids, don't worry if you missed any of these. This was just a way to show how all of our senses can work together. They help us learn about what's around us. And you should be proud of yourselves if you did get them, because you did it all without seeing the object, which is another sense that would have made this experiment much easier. Totally.
Oh, what?
That's totally my thing. Yes, it is. Back to the experiment. Firstly, well done, Clarissa. You brought a fine experiment to the learning bunch. Thank you for your wonderful idea. Secondly, let's discuss what happened with each object. Thoughts?
Well, the tricky thing was that we had to rely on different senses for each object.
Yeah, and even if we didn't quite guess the object correctly, we were still able to make a set of clues to get us closer to the answer. It seems like the senses were working together to paint a picture for us by giving us information so we could recreate the object in our minds. Right. So, do we agree that we're ready to answer James' question today? Totes. James, dear, we're ready.
Well, I'm excited. What'd you find out?
Dinosaur!
Yeah, but don't worry about Peepo. He's just a giant misunderstood love bug. Aren't you, people? You'll see the next time you come by Marie's place.
I thought the dinosaur went back with everything when we fixed Seymour.
Well, Peepo was outside of the portal room when that happened, so... here he is.
James, we need to have a talk about Pippo later. But, back to focusing right now. You asked, how do our human senses help us learn about our surroundings? We did an experiment where we used our senses to describe an object so we could figure out what the object was.
Sounds like a fun game anyone could play even outside of the experiment.
Right here, James. That's my experiment.
Excellent work.
Yes, and we found out that we don't necessarily have to use all our senses to learn about each thing around us. Some you don't want to touch, others you definitely don't taste. However, every time one sense was taken away, the others still worked together to paint a picture with clues about the object. And the kids at home had the toughest challenge because they couldn't see our objects, but they were brilliant.
It sounds like it. Well, thank you all once again for your smart work. Take care, everyone.
Toodaloo. Bye.
Alright, everyone. Even though that may be it for today's experiment, keep listening, because in just a minute you're going to join Freddy to find out who Kelly really is. But before that, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, which can be found on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more, as well as YouTube. And be sure to follow us on Twitter so you can see our Portal of the Day, which is our daily tweet about someone doing good in the world. And if you'd like us to feature your good work in Humans Are Cool, please email us about it at gabeshumanizingpodcast@gmail.com. We love doing this for you, and we'd like to make it even better. We're happy to say that we now have a support button where you have the option to support us with a donation and no ongoing commitment. In return, we'll make an episode based on your suggestion. And now, back to Freddy.
Agent Darling.
Hey, it's me.
Okay, I guess you're right. There's definitely something funny going on with the dinosaur. But as far as Kelly goes, I didn't hear anything weird at all.
I know. She was fairly quiet and normal today. It was like she knew. But you gotta believe me. She's always doing something impossible, like going into an alternate dimension or hanging out with Einstein.
Do you know how nutty you sound right now?
She's the nut.
Oh, I am not.
Oh, what?
I mean, no, she's not.
Oh, why do you think she's not? And why did you say you're not?
Just a slip of the tongue, I guess.
And why did you say totally earlier, like... You're Kelly, aren't you?
What? No.
You totally are. You're an agent with a secret identity or something.
Okay. Yes, but you can't tell the others. Please, just trust me. Clarissa, or Kelly, or whatever your name is, you have some explaining to do. What? Marie's on here too?
Yeah, I kind of three-way called you with her. See, Marie, I told you something was up.
Yes, dear, I do see. Now, what is your name, and who are you, really? Like... Uh-oh.
This is so cool.